Have you ever wondered what would happen if you combine Gurren Lagann with Mad Max? Well, the Cyberpunk anime did just this, managing to overcome all of my expectations, creating an absolute banger of a show. Because when it comes to video game adaptations, there's a 10% chance it'll be insane, but usually the other 90% of shows are just straight garbage. And somehow, the Cyberpunk anime was able to hit that lucky 10%. Usually when I hear there's going to be an adaptation for a video game franchise, my first thought is, oh god, here we go again. Rarely is it ever done right, and oftentimes it is so abysmal, fans of the franchise can't even recommend you watch it. Just look at the new Halo TV show that came out a couple months back. It was memed on for a solid week, and then it was banished into the Shadow Realm, never to be heard of again. However, recently, Netflix has stepped up their game when it comes to video game adaptations. Like last year we got the League of Legends adaptation Arcane, which was an absolute masterpiece, and this year we got the Cyberpunk anime adaptation for Cyberpunk 2077. And for those who don't know what Cyberpunk is, it was this massive video game that came out in 2020, had a huge amount of hype, and met zero of that hype and disappointed everyone. 2 years later, after a lot of updates, it's turned into a decent game. But because of Netflix's track record of creating shows, and the fact there was a video game adaptation of a video game with a horrible launch, I was very apprehensive about how this show was going to turn out. This apprehension wasn't needed though, because Studio Trigger came in gun blazing, figuratively and literally, creating some of the most insane action scenes. And when I say some of these scenes are almost to the level of Demon Slayer Season 2 action scenes, you know it's insane. Some of the most well choreographed fights, and they all felt so fluid and dynamic, while at the same time being visible and contributing to the overall vibe of the anime. Because one thing I can say about this show is that the vibe is unmatched. Tell me if you've ever seen as colorful or stylized backdrops as these. Because while watching this anime, I couldn't help but feel immersed in the world and the characters that they were portraying. Oftentimes, anime is set with this generic Japan setting or generic fantasy world, and there's nothing unique about it. But the Cyberpunk anime creates a world that actually feels lived in and real. Now, I want to be entirely upfront with you all. I'm a sucker for these kind of shows. I love how animation can be used to tell stories you could only dream of, which this show takes and runs with. Studio Trigger, being Studio Trigger, pulled out all the stops for this anime, creating gorgeous scenes filled with stylized nuances, such as subtitles that read like video game text, or continued use of certain symbols throughout the show. I would honestly recommend this show just based off the action scenes and animation alone, but the story is actually pretty decent. It focuses around David, who lives in Night City, which is this sci-fi post-apocalyptic place where corporations control everything. And within this city, there's people known as Edgerunners who end up modifying their body with technology to become stronger and better. And through various circumstances, David ends up joining a gang of Edgerunners, and the show just revolves around David and this gang and their journey against the corporation as Edgerunners, who are basically these cyborg-like people. And honestly, at some points this show turns into an allegory for capitalism, which is really interesting and intriguing, but I don't have the expertise or qualifications to dive deeper into that rabbit hole. But one thing I can talk about is the character interactions, because all of the characters feel unique and have their own personalities, which is exemplified by their character designs, which feel cut out for their each unique personalities, and they all feel different and not the same copy and pasted formula. And throughout this story, the game becomes closer, growing as individuals. However, not necessarily for the better, because this anime is not a happy anime, and I would be remiss to tell you otherwise. It's gritty, it's dark, and most importantly, it's bloody. It is filled with some very dark scenes and some despicable characters. But these characters fit the mood of the city and what this city is really designed for. The city is portrayed as this dark place filled with people who do anything to get to the top. And the show doesn't shy away from this and actually embraces it, making it one of the most unique anime I've seen in a long time. Notice though, I didn't say the best. There are some flaws to it. I can't get into it without major spoilers, but I will say the ending is good, if bittersweet. And if you're looking for something different, I would say go watch Cyberpunk. It was one of my favorite animes this season just for the sheer uniqueness of it, and I would definitely say it's worth your time. Not gonna lie, since finishing the anime, it's been on my mind, and I wanted to make a video on it, telling you guys about it, because you guys definitely should check it out. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and come back to my channel in a couple weeks, and I should have another video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.